What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Project Ozone 3 Kappa mode. Oh yeah, guys. Last episode, we started into Pneumaticcraft, and we were looking at making plastic, and we had ended the episode by getting a little bit of black plastic. Yep, we were checking out the processing plant over here, the thermopneumatic processing plant. We were checking out our refinery, and we did the plastic mixer. Yep, so we were able to put the Britannia dyes in here. We don't have to use the vanilla ones, which is pretty cool. I did make 3 more black plastic. It's as simple as just clicking this button as long as we have the dye in here. And it looks like we're out of dye now, so I'll have to fill that back up. But yeah, I was working towards getting ourselves the Metallurgic infuser. This is pretty much our next step here in order to progress. So nuclear furnaces require us to have the endist furnace plus these tough alloys and the basic plating. So we need to get some of that stuff going over here. So tough alloys, we have plenty. We'll grab 8 of those. And then we are going to need some graphite. 4 of those, I believe, and some lead. And 4 more of those. Awesome. So now, if we take that, we throw that in our sag mill or our pulverizer, either way, we get the graphite dust, and we should be able to mix that with the lead ingots here for these basic platings. Cool. So now that we have that stuff, we can mix it with our endist furnace and make 2 of the nuclear craft items. Let's do that. So we were trying to make these nuclear craft furnaces. I shift clicked it and only did 1. Oh, you know what? I need to make 2 more recipes. My mistake. I thought I was making enough there for what we needed, but no. No, I was not. I was making enough for only 1 recipe. Okay, well, that's simple enough. We'll just take a little bit more of this graphite and throw it into here and then make the basic platings again. And it's all very simple. Okay, so now we should be able to make 2 of those. And if I come over to this thing and I shift click, there's 2 recipes. Awesome. All right, so nuclear furnace. So we can mark that off the list. So the metallurgic infuser also requires us to have the osmium and this redstone alloy ingot, which I don't think we've made the redstone alloy yet, but that's pretty inexpensive. It's graphite, silicon, and then the red alloy. So graphite, silly, and then the red alloy. I think that's all we need to do. And then we can put that into our alloy furnace over here. And just like that, it gets done almost instantly thanks to our tick acceleration. Okay, so now that we have the red alloy, what else do we need here? The osmium, I think we already have. So steel casing is the next bit. So that required us to have these transistors and dark steel. Transistors, yeah. So this is what we need. We need 4 of those transistors. 4 of these guys, right? So the transistor does require us to make a pressure chamber. So we need to do this. The pressure chamber, you get 16 per 1 craft. I think we need 2 crafts in order to make the 3x3x3, and we'll have some left over, just fine. Advanced plating is tough alloy plus the basic plating, so I think we've already made that. And then the extreme alloy we're looking at last episode, that's tough alloy mixed with hard carbon, which is crushed diamond plus graphite dust. Okay, well, let me go ahead and just craft that stuff up. We'll get the pressure chamber walls hooked up, and we'll take a look at the Pneumaticcraft pressure chamber. All right, guys, so we got the basic structure of a 3x3 pressure chamber here, just some pressure chamber walls. Now we got to put in some of these different items. So we need to put in a pressure chamber interface, and these only go like the way you're placing them. So you have one side that says I and one side that says O. So input, output. So this is the output side, and if I put it on this, then we have the input right here, right? So we have the output and the input. Okay, well, anyway, we have that set up now. We need to do a pressure chamber valve so we can put pressure into the pressure chamber. So then we got 2 more blocks that we have available. So we can make some pressure chamber glass if we want to, but that is expensive for some reason. It wants us to use greenhouse glass. So if we wanted to see inside here, we have to do this. Well, actually, I guess the greenhouse glass really is not that bad looking at this. If we have empowered palace, we'll go ahead and do this. If we don't have it, then we're going to hold off. We have empowered palace. Let's go. All right, so we have that. So 4 glass and 4 saplings. 4 and saplings. We have plenty of those. Okay. So greenhouse glass. Boom. All right. So we have those. Now, if we wanted to turn that into the pressure chamber glass, then we need the advanced platings. How many of those can we make? Perfect. We got enough for 4 of those. And we needed 4 compressed iron. Oh, you know what? We had the compressed iron on me. Boom. Okay. So we have that. It's a little expensive for what it is. Oh, I guess that completes a quest. I wanted us to do that anyway. Okay, well, there is the pressure chamber completed. You can tell it's completed because you get all the advancements and the thing in the chat and the multi-block thing forms and okay, so we got all of this stuff done. So we need to get a valve and we need to get that hooked up to our pressure. Yep. Everything in Pneumaticcraft requires pressure. That is its power system. So let's grab, well, I think the first thing we want to do is start from this side. Whoop. Place that there and bring this down. Hopefully I got enough tubes to do this. I'm not sure if I do. Yeah, 7 remaining. I think we should be okay. Like so, like so. So now we should start building pressure in our pressure chamber here. And the pressure chamber also acts as like a pressure battery. So the pressure that goes in, like it fills up a large capacity inside of this thing. Yeah, and then when you need pressure for other stuff, it'll use the pressure in here. So we're not having to run our air compressor as much. Yeah, but their air compressor is kind of struggling right now to equalize the pressure and bring this up to speed. But yeah, once we get this thing full, yeah, it's definitely going to be quite nice. What does this say? Warning. No valid items in the chamber. Well, of course there isn't. I haven't put anything in there yet. Okay. So at this point, we should be pretty much well on our way to get this going. I was looking for this and it was on my hotbar. Okay. Yeah, we should be pretty much set to try and pressurize some stuff. So we wanted to make the transistor. And that requires us to have the open computers transistor, which I haven't made yet. And that's an energized capacitor. Oh, you know what? I made one of those for... what did I make that for? Maybe I was making it for this transistor. Yeah. So I brought these guys, the empowerer over here from downstairs. I got rid of our water wheel, so all of that stuff's gone. We brought this up here. Again, we're gonna have to like reorganize all this stuff at some point in the future. I'm kind of just placing these things down nearby where our power is, just for convenience. But we could start using some of the wireless power and like spreading these things out a little bit, but I don't know how we're gonna lay things out just yet. So bear with the mess for a little while, I suppose. So yeah, we have an energized capacitor. I guess we don't need that bookmarked anymore. So the transistor requires 2 redstone reception coils. We can make that, the electrotine, and copper. Well, I believe we have all of these things. So we need 4 of those. Was it gold? Gold. So 2 gold, 1 electrotine. Electrotine, however you pronounce it, I'm not actually sure. Copper. There we go. As far as I know, a lot of the names in this modded Minecraft stuff is all made up, so that I don't know if there actually is like a correct way to say these things. But maybe it's a real substance and maybe I'm just ignorant. I don't know. Well, anyway, there is our transistors. Okay, so the transistor plus black plastic, compressed iron, and red alloy. So we need red alloy, 4 of those, 4 of those, 4 of these, and 4 of those. Okay, so now that we have all of that, we also need ourselves a chest. All right, 1 chest here, and maybe... I can't remember if this thing automatically grabs stuff from each chest or if you have to pipe stuff in. I'm pretty sure the outputs into a chest. We want to filter. We want to set this. The item begins with transistor. If you don't set a filter here, anything you put in there will just automatically eject without questioning. It'll just like break your recipe. So you kind of want to filter on specific items. So like all the random items you put in there after it crafts, then it ejects the correct item, right? So we want to eject the transistor only. Actually, that might break it because these are both named transistor. Let me see. Item name contains items. Item filter. Item name begins with... I'm not sure how this is going to work. Maybe if I say item name begins with and I put garbage here, it won't eject anything. And then when it's done, we can tell it to eject the transistor. And I think we can set a pattern so it only ejects certain items. Well, anyway, I guess we'll figure that out here in a moment. I think I can put items in here directly. No, I can't. Maybe we have to use a hopper. Yeah, it's been a little bit of time since I've done Pneumaticcraft. Try a hopper. Or do we have any translocators? We don't. You know what? I think that's probably... Let's just do it this way. Translocator. I think this is probably going to be the better method. So, piston... I think we might have one over here. We have a sticky piston. Is that good enough? Will that work? No. Easy. So we have the translocator here with a piece of glowstone. So we're pulling stacks at a time. Otherwise, if you don't do that and use something like a hopper, it'll put 1 or 2 items in here. The door will close and then it'll open up the other door. With no speed upgrades, this goes really, really, really slow. With a stack upgrade, it'll throw the entire stack of items in there and then it'll only do this one time per unique item type. Anyway, so let's do this, 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 and this. Yeah, so the door's closing and then it's putting in the black plastic, and this closes, and then this opens and grabs the next stack of items. Aha. So we should end up with 4 unique stacks of items in there, and if the pressure is high enough, we should be able to craft these. This says it needs 1 bar of pressure, so we shouldn't have any problem as soon as that last stack of items goes in there. I believe that's the open computer transistors that needs to go in. And there it is. Cool. So now we have the transistors. Okay, so if we go in here and we just clear this, it'll just extract everything. Yeah, eventually, like I said, we could probably item filter. Yeah, we can put a filter on specific items that we want, but for now, since the items that we're putting in have the same name as the items that we're taking out, that doesn't quite work. Well, anyway, so we have the transistors, which should allow us to do this. So we do need a machine frame, so that's a light engineering block, bronze gears. All of this is simple stuff. And there's our steel casing, and that should allow us to make this metallurgic infuser. Boom. Awesome. Do we get a quest complete for that? Nice. We also got a quest complete for some other things here. Under the pie one, we got for the transistor and the pressure chamber. So we'll claim those. And then under tau, we got the metallurgic. So that looks like that's the start of the mechanism series of quests. I wonder if the wind turbine is worth making. I wonder if the wind turbine tick accelerated is worth making. I wonder if that's better or worse than the lava stuff. I don't know. Maybe this could be really overpowered. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out later. Anyway, well, let's go ahead and claim that, and we'll add the 35 over here. And now we're up to 15 stacks plus 17. We got a decent amount of those going on now. That's great. So metallurgic infuser is done. So that means that we can do reinforced alloys potentially. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so in order to make the enriched alloy, we need capacitors. Right. It might also be worth us doing the, what's the thing called that makes the compressed redstone? Let's wait for that to come back around again. I'll click on it. The enrichment chamber, how expensive is that? So we need basic control circuits. Okay, so we're gonna need a lot of Pneumaticcraft in order to do this stuff. Maybe we'll just do it the more expensive way for now to get us started here. So really, we need only 2 reinforced alloys, which means we need 2 capacitors. So the capacitors are made with melodic capacitor, microchip tier 3, cyan plastic compressed iron, and red alloy. So the microchip tier 3 is the transistor that we already made, plus some diamond chips. And diamond chips looks like we have to do a cutting wire. Interesting. So that's iron nugget plus sticks. Okay, well, iron nugget plus some sticks. We don't have any here. I don't think I've ever made this item before from Open Computers. I don't recall ever making one of those before, so that seems new to me. I wonder if that has infinite durability or low durability, or how does this work? So that plus a diamond. Whoa, what? I just clicked some buttons here. What the heck? Diamond. Oh, I got 3 diamonds now. All right, so we got this. It doesn't say durability on it yet anyway. So they, oh, that's a one-time use. That's a one-time use. Okay. Well, I mean, that's only iron nuggets and 2 sticks, so it's not like it's really expensive or anything. So the microchip, yeah, that's actually enough, right? Because it's 1 microchip per, and we needed 2 of these. Okay, so we should be fine with what we got there. So the microchip does require some redstone. All right, so we have that. The melodic capacitor, I don't know about this guy. This requires a slice in splice. So that's melodic alloy, landium, and steel, and popped chorus fruit. Well, and steel, I've had to make that before. That's not bad. Obsidian, dark steel, and stone, we can do that. And popped chorus fruit. Maybe we never grabbed chorus before. We did grab shulker shells, didn't we? Yeah, we've grabbed shulker shells, but I guess we never grabbed any chorus fruit. I can go back to the end and grab that. That's not a big deal. And just, you know, we smelt it, you know, whatever. We could also do bonsai tree for those and just have those going. Yep, that's a thing that we could do as well. And then this requires 2 crystalline capacitors. So we've made these before, I do believe. That is gold and grains of piezoelectric. No, maybe we haven't made these. Yeah, maybe we haven't. Pulsating crystal. All right, so this is a little expensive. Yeah. Empowered diamond and things like that. Prismarine crystals, we have made these before. That's just you put prismarine in front of the laser, I believe. And then you can, yeah, so you put, no, nether quartz in front of the laser, get the shards, and you can pulverize those to get the crystals. So that's easy enough. And then the energized, we've made these. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started on this stuff. And then we also have to look at doing the slice and splice, which is, we've made these, we made that soul machine, soul attuned die. I think we've done that too. Soul attuned die. I'll have to take a look at that. Didn't we have to make that already for our soul binder? I think we did. Well, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get some more crafting done. It's just gonna be a lot of off-camera crafting stuff. Be right back, guys. Oh boy, this processor, or I guess this transistor, capacitor, one of those things. This thing is expensive, guys, and we need 2 of them. So one of these things requires 2 of these crystalline capacitors. So we need 2 of these. That requires 2 of these, so we need 4 of the energized. That requires 2 of these, so we need 8 of the energetic. That requires 2 of the silver. So what are we up to, 16? And then that needs 2 of these, which is 32. And that requires 2 of these, which is a full stack of the red alloy and grains of infinity. Yeah. So that's pretty expensive. So each one of those stacks of alloy costs a stack of copper, which I'm trying to do right now. Yes, full stack of copper and 4 stacks of redstone, the way we are currently doing it. Now, eventually, we'll probably get to the way where we can just say it doesn't matter anymore. We have all of the redstone, and we can do it this way, right? So it's just going to be a stack of iron and 8 stacks of redstone. Well, in fact, we might even be around this point right now, considering our mob farm is getting us like pretty much all of the redstone. But for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and continue doing this more frugally, doing 4 stacks of redstone, 1 stack of copper, and putting it into this alloy furnace, which is in fact being tick accelerated by a ritual accelerator once again. So yeah, this really isn't that bad. Like, to me, I feel like that's a fairly reasonable speed. It doesn't cost much to process this stuff. Yeah, I like this. Well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get all of this stuff done. This is going to take a minute. We'll be right back. I feel like every time I've automated this in the past, the Empowerer, I've always used like some kind of filter to extract out of the Empowerer itself. Today I decided to put a hopper directly below it, and that seems to work just fine. You don't have to filter what you're extracting out of there. Like, you input an item into the top, but there's a separate output slot when it's finished, and then the hopper extracts out of that. Anyway, pretty simple to like automate this in such a way. Yeah. So just hoppers inserting items, you just place whichever item you want in this one into the hopper, and same for all of these. So yeah, I've been doing a whole lot of that. We're up to the crystalline capacitor at this point, so we can unbookmark that. So we're at the more expensive one at this time. So we need to get ourselves an axe and shears for our slice and splice that we have made over here. Yeah, slice and splice. I did get a capacitor in here that had clean cut, which I think is the slice and splice specific capacitor. And I saw this one didn't have like a specific one, but we did have a tight, premium tight, which is good for the soul binder. So now this is using 3800 RF per tick. So yeah, it's gonna use a lot of power, but it should go faster, I think. Anyway, so we need to do this. We should have 4 of these, so we can do this recipe twice. We need to get the alloys. So that is, again, landium, end steel, and popped chorus fruit. I have not been to the end yet, but I figured that we'd come back in here and take a look at the slice and splice and make sure we get everything done. So dark steel is usually a pretty good way to make an axe for that thing. So we will use a dark axe and dark shears. I do believe that should be good enough for quite some time, I think, on that particular machine. So those are the only things that we need to put in there, and then every once in a while we might have to replace them. But I don't remember if I have ever used like these dark items in the slice and splice and then had to repair it. I think you can also empower these things so they use RF, and maybe it'll use RF instead of the durability on these tools. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. You're gonna be spending what, like 5 dark steel every couple thousand crafts or something using this thing. It's not really something you gotta worry too much about. But anyway, next step is we need to go get this popped chorus fruit, so I'm off to the end. Okay, so after a quick little hop, skip, and jump to the end, we should be back here ready to go. So we needed this. Oh, we can only put them one at a time. One of those, and then 2 of these. There we go. That's real fast. Okay, so that's awesome. So 2 of those again, 2 of these, and 1 of those. Boom, done. Great. So now we have 2 of the melodic capacitors. Do we get a quest complete for that? I think we're getting quest completes for some of these other ones. I'm not sure. Was it this one for Ender IO? I actually don't remember. Tau? Nope, not that one. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't see anything here. Oh, maybe Ada. No, here we go. Okay, so yeah, we have the melodic alloy. That's complete. And then slice and splice soul binder. We'll go ahead and claim all of those. Very good. So nothing for this specific capacitor, I suppose. So we can get rid of that and that. So now we got to do this capacitor. So we could, I think if we just type the name in this time, but I think we're just going to do like we did before. We will just type a name begins with ASDF or whatever. And then we can throw in these different items. So we need 2 cyan plastic. So if I click cyan twice, we get 2 of those. We need 2 of these chips, 2 of these processors or capacitors, 2 red, and then 2 compressed iron. Well, all of that's pretty simple to do. Red alloy. I don't remember. Oh, compressed iron. Cool. So now we have everything in order to make this guy. Very good. So we'll throw all of those into our pressure chamber once again. And I'll very slowly add these items in. Now you can get speed upgrades for here. Not enough pressure to the pressure chamber to move the items. Oh, did we run out of... We ran out of juice. Oh, that's not good. Okay, well, I can go ahead and grab some more coal. There we go. Now everything should be happy. Okay, so we'll build up pressure once again. It will do the things that it needs to do over here. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and make it nighttime so that compressor runs just ever so slightly faster. So we can build up pressure just ever so slightly faster as well. Yeah, this pressure is pretty low. So if we go back to this, yeah, you can see that this is going to happen at 1 bar pressure. We currently have less than 1 bar. And I guess we are waiting to put another item in there. Okay, so that closed. There we go. So now we are all set. Very good. And ejected. Cool. So we got ourselves our capacitors. Do we get a quest complete for that? I feel like we should. There we go. All right. That is under this section. Yeah, so we got a capacitor and cyan plastic. We'll claim those. Very good. So getting back to this. So the reinforced alloy comes from the enriched alloy, which is redstone in the metallurgic infuser. 20 redstone. I think you get 10 per redstone. Or maybe it's 20 per redstone. I actually don't know. Well, anyway, it doesn't really matter too much. We'll get 4 of those. It should be more than enough. And the metallurgic infuser itself. So now we got to find a spot to plop this down. And for right now, just to get things rolling, we'll put it right here. And this is not getting any power. Do I have to configure infuse purple from the bottom? Input, output, energy, dark green. We are still not getting power here. I am confused why we are not getting power in this thing. I'm sure there's something that I'm overlooking. Oh, of course. We have power over here. This is not the power bar. This is where you put in the redstone. This is the redstone bar. My mistake. So we put those here. We put one of those in here that gives us 10. 2 of those gives us 20. So we'll put 2 more in there so we can do both of those. And then we're going to have to do the same thing with diamonds. And I think diamonds probably gives the same amount. So we might need 4 diamonds for this. Maybe. We'll put one at a time and make sure so we're not just like, you know, throwing diamonds away or whatever. But I'll double check that. So we have the enriched alloy. If we put 1 diamond in, oh, they got to be crushed diamonds, don't they? Let's go back to this. Yeah, it has to be crushed diamond. So that says 10 diamond per. So I guess we're only going to do 1 diamond at a time. So does this give us a chance of multiple? Maybe it does. I don't know. Anyway, we'll put that into here. And this will do its thing. It's not looking like this is being affected too much by our astral sorcery. I might have to reset that, or maybe this particular machine just never gets affected by it. I don't know. But yeah, there is 1 reinforced alloy and we're making the other one. Well, we are pretty close to making our ME controller, that's for sure. We have the dense, we have the 2 reinforced, we have the crystal cluster, we have this and the processor. So we are only missing at this point printed circuit boards. Well, that's more transistors and more capacitors in order to make one of these. We do have to make the unassembled PCB, but yeah, this is going to get quite expensive pretty quickly. We're going to have to automate this whole thing, but I think we'll wait for later until we find a more permanent spot for all of this stuff. But yeah, we'll definitely get this stuff automated, especially when we get into applied energistics and start automating all of our machines around here. That's definitely a thing that I'm looking forward to doing. Guys, we're going to go ahead and call it an episode here for today. Yes, we got the pressure chamber up and running. We were able to finally get ourselves a metallurgic infuser, and we got ourselves a reinforced alloys. We're super, super close to getting the ME controller, but once we get that, are we even going to be able to use it? I haven't even looked at this other stuff. Hope so. It'd be kind of silly to make the ME controller and not be able to do anything other than look at it. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.